Oh boy, guys. Oh boy. What's going on? It's your boy Shanghai20 at YouTube.com doing this entertainment business things. Rolling with the man over my shoulder, the King Redalia. Rolling over there, the Heavenly Wings man. And we're getting into Game of Thrones. Let's get right the fuck into it. Honestly, this episode has I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. And I want to first by putting out the disclaimer that yes, I am aware that I didn't, predict the Crypt stuff wrong. I was wrong about the Crypt. Everyone who was important in the Crypt lived. I'm sorry. I fucked up on that one. Urel, what's going on, brother? Thanks for watching. I was wrong about that, but I have to say this episode was absolutely, I was right about this. It was a filler episode with some teeth in it to try to make you feel like, oh, there's still stuff to invest in. That's what it kind of felt like to me, this whole episode. It felt like a lot of stuff was everyone knew there was going to be a lull after something so big that they were like, all right, we're gonna pepper you with all this nonsense and then just try to hit you with a little stinger okay, now you have to go watch the next episode. You have to.
As I said, it's definitely going to be the aftermath of what happened and then the pretext to the war. Yeah,
and so I don't know. What do you want to get into first? There's a lot of shit to get into. Can we get into some of the lighter stuff first?
Yeah.
Can we get into Sir Podrick of fucking Pain?
Before we get into that, I wanted to just say, it's one episode past 3, right? The whole zombie.
Yeah. That was last episode.
And now I'm still even more in my head, I'm like, what were they thinking? Why have that as episode? You can't follow it up. All the stuff that they did this episode, cool. That would have been awesome to see before episode 3. I would have been like, oh, this happened, that happened, whatever. And now at this point, again, I really don't even need to see this.
I get why they did that though. It's after that fight, most of their army, the armies are going to get wiped out. So dragons would probably get wiped out there too.
I don't know. It's like I said, in real Game of Thrones shit, Cersei would have ran on these motherfuckers already. The way they were in the castle,
that's what castles are for.
Yeah, but we already established when the dragon blew a fucking hole in it, they don't have defenses like that. They don't got men like that.
Well, no, now they do. They do. So.
But fighting in the snow is a lot different from not fighting in the snow.
I know, I understand that. Yeah, and
that was tactical in Cersei's.
It was, but I to your point, I understand, and to everyone out there, you're not really gonna be able to beat the last episode in terms of just overall package.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that was almost the climax. I would say. I don't know what's the go ahead, but that's almost the climax to me.
So Podrick.
Let's get back to some good shit because motherfucker, I want to talk about my man Sir Podrick of fucking Pain. That's in the Hefner. If you don't fucking know, you guys, if you see it, and honestly, out of all that scene when everyone getting their shit done, his was almost the best. It was the low key the best.
It was low key
because no one had to give him nothing.
You notice it unless you notice it.
Mm-hmm. If you don't know, you guys haven't noticed when there's a scene when I believe it's the part where Sansa was talking to. No,
it was with
Tormund crying.
Tormund
crying, being heartbroken over the brand thing.
And then the chick comes up and walks away.
And the chick comes and walks away with Tormund. And if you see in the background, they have a young, I'm sorry, Sir Podrick of fucking Pain, fucking double-armed, 2 broads, and it was in the air, and all walk out together. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Doing his mystical bard nonsense.
Doing his mystical bard. He in D&D, my man Pod is a goddamn bard. Because he was a goddamn G in that situation,
They heard the legend. They heard the legend.
Oh, the legend of Podrick Pain, bro. The legend of Podrick Pain. And, that was the thing. His, again, I keep saying it, his steady climb on dope shit has just been keep going for, the whole time. Every time you go back and go, oh, this dude Podrick, man, I hope he doesn't die in a fucking conflict. He comes out unscathed, but better!
Absolutely.
He's a battle bard now. You can't beat that shit.
He is the only one that levels up each time you see him.
Oh, man. Each time.
I can agree with that.
Each time. I mean, like, seriously, in terms of, like, how shit goes, like, honestly, I'm more interested to see his story now than most of anybody else, which I think they kind of... I'll be anxious to see if he's, like, somebody's fucking brother or something, somebody's cousin, make sure that's how he never gets fucking done off with. Like, it's like, nah, he's cool, but, like, he's somebody's brother. That's why he's not gonna die in Game of Thrones. But I mean, honestly, who do you think came up the most in this episode? Because there was a lot of leveling up. I felt in this episode.
Let's go back to the beginning of the episode where you see, with Daenerys, and then she's Gendry. She like turns to Gendry and is like, "Yo, your father is trying to kill me, right?"
Yeah,
Mr. Robert Baratheon.
See, honestly, and I'm wondering to myself about like that kind of stuff. Like, why does she keep bringing up shit like that?
Well, because essentially, like, if you let's pretend you had an altercation with someone, or maybe there was a third party, right, and you were talking shit about them, right, and then you're in the same room with them, right, and you guys are just walking around each other the whole time. You don't want somebody to approach you on some bullshit because you don't know how they're gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? You can be the one to come out and just be like, hey, I had said something the other day. This was the context of what happened. Before that other person, he's heard this and that and the other, decides that, this was the context and takes it out of context and then starts a whole beef. So that's she was just trying to she's just been trying to jump ahead of things.
And I mean, in her position, I would definitely understand that too, because from the very beginning, she's basically a little ass girl in a big diesel ass world, and no one was really gonna hear her out unless she actually tried to do something.
But that's how it is in real life.
Yeah. I feel like the way she did it that way, the way she did it is to say that, okay, all this shit happened to me. I should kill you right now, but I'm gonna be the bigger person right now. You had nothing to do with it, and you're losing houses. So,
but I think even if it was like Stannis or something like that, who absolutely was around during that time, she wouldn't get off him. Not at that point. She would kind of be fair and be like, "Yo, how you want to take this?"
I almost want to see it like she's trying to do good cop, bad cop shit. Cause like Jon, everyone in that scene, everyone's like, "Yo, Jon, you're a fucking hero. You're a fucking beast."
They were drunk.
Yo, I'm sorry, that was like one of my favorite scenes. So you fucking rode a fucking dragon.
I saw him right there.
Yeah. I was like, and then like they turned to Daenerys and she's like, she can't be soft in that
Somebody else rode a dragon. I can't remember.
Well, he was
Jon rode a dragon.
The dragon.
We're gonna ride the dragon.
AKA that dragon queen.
The dragon. Well, I'll put it this way. I thought that was like that scene was pretty cool, and I like how Game of Thrones kind of undercut shit like that. But there was definitely some shade queens in this episode that I think are gonna ruin everything for everyone. I think Cersei. I think Sansa's
queen of shade.
Sansa's done for me.
I don't care what nobody wants to say in their fantasy, feminist,
fantasy.
Whatever. Women are like that. Women don't normally hold shit to. See, I explain to people all the time the difference between men and women are men. We tend to keep that stuff to ourselves and be more disciplined because we can kill each other like that with our bare hands, right? No, I mean, honestly, like you hear it all the time. Two guys get into a fight, someone felt wrong. That's the end of that. How many times do you hear that two women get into a fight and they kill each other, right? So, all I'm saying is that it affords women the ability to talk shit to each other because rarely is someone going to die. A guy is like, oh, you said, I'll be right back. I'm gonna come right back.
But
right?
you did say that.
You did say that. You did say that about my mom.
But you did say it.
Right. So my point is that in my opinion, that's realism, right? You get a bunch of women, especially in points of power. They're gonna be kind of shady to each other. They're not really.
That's the thing I liked about this episode. They seem like a lot of the interactions seem real.
Yes,
yes. That you pointed out with Giant Spain.
Oh my god, yo, that scene where like Tyrion pulls the card, the virgin card on fucking Brienne.
We felt this pain because how many times have you invested into a girl, you legit liked her, and some fuckboy.
Yo, some fuckboy.
She says it up to the fuckboy.
I didn't even slap my ass yet.
Right?
But I didn't even slap my ass yet.
Yeah, that's how he got in there. He looked at someone like. It's my turn.
It's first. It's me. It's me,
son.
I thought the funniest part was literally in my mind. I was thinking like, damn, man. He just like you completely like, nah. If anybody's fucking her, it's me, bro. And like the slick move with Tyrion to walk in like, yo, have this drink, buddy. And then it just pans back to him crying and like spelling it the fuck out.
Yo, my brother ain't never not got no pussy. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you don't know my brother. Okay.
The Golden Lion?
I've
seen that look.
I've seen it.
He's on the fucking prowl.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You give it to him. You give it to him now.
Jamie Lannister, a.k.a. Booty Tongue.
But I love the fact that...
Kappa Chow?
Kappa Chow my ass. I'm sorry.
Nah, but right after the chick comes up and is like, are you being a little bitch?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's like,
well, you gotta give Tommen a little win. Now, I think that it would have been a little bit more powerful if they didn't even give him any wins. I would have been damn. Right?
But he's a fan favorite. They definitely weren't going to leave him hung out to dry.
And again, they're going that route this season, where they're trying to, do a lot of shock, give everybody what they want.
I mean, so far, do you think they gave everyone what they wanted?
Yeah, they're trying their hardest to give everybody what they want.
Do you think they've been getting what we've been getting what we advertised?
Except with Arya actually killing the Night King, I'll say yeah.
I thought that was a bit anticlimactic. I thought that could have been handled a lot better.
And with that, I think they were trying to give everybody what they wanted. I know they said they wanted to subvert expectations by having her kill the Night's King, but I think that was a choice. Like, we got to try to satisfy a lot of the lady crowd or whatever, but it just didn't happen to work. Because
satisfy the lady crowd?
Yeah, because one thing that I think everybody needs to start learning, especially with the Force Awakens, the Star Wars franchise, is subverting expectations for the sake of subverting expectations is never good, right? But if you can subvert them with some sort of purpose in mind, that's always good. And so the Arya thing ended up being kind of more random because it's like, well, why her? Because now people want explanations.
Yeah, why her? And you know what? The number one thing I came into this episode saying was I need explanations. Mm-hmm. I need explanations. And they completely glossed over it.
Absolutely.
They completely glossed over it. It was completely like, oh, you know what? No, she just did it.
And that, I liked the episode, but I almost didn't have a good time because I came into this really expecting that they were going to explain a lot of stuff, that's what this episode was going to deal with. And now I'm seeing that the tone of this episode, it ain't never coming back up. The Night King is over. Okay?
Yeah, we ain't never bringing that.
He dead.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, they started thinking, oh, and big ups to Arya for killing the Night King.
Yeah.
That's done.
I like that part in the scene too. Big up to Daenerys, but then she's like, yo, shout out to Arya. She saved her ass.
She did the first Westeros shout out. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty cool too, because I know the internet's gonna explode off of that shit. Having two women I'm sorry, I can't even talk no more about that. Can we talk about people fucking snitching, man? Can we fucking talk about people fucking snitching, man? Because honestly, that soured my whole mood for the rest of the episode. And I know you just said you didn't care and it was kind of for me, personally, the whole thing fucked me over is when she was like, yo, just don't tell nobody. Okay. So, and he's I can't.
Now wait.
And we talked about this on here. He's an honorable dude, honorable Ned Stark, honorable Jon Snow.
They could have played it both ways.
I didn't like how they did this.
They could have played it both ways. They could have been like, all right, well, he's learned from his father's mistakes and he's going to go a different route. But it does look like they're staying the path of, listen, that's Ned's son. He's honorable to a fault.
But
I hated that.
But, he was not going to say anything, though.
What?
He wasn't going to say anything until Bran.
No, he was gonna.
No,
say
he was
something.
not.
He was. He said it's your choice.
Yeah.
He could have literally said, "Yeah,
I hate Bran. I'm starting to hate Bran. I'm starting to hate Bran.
But if
Bran,
Bran-
am I gonna get like indigestion if I eat this?
Who's to say?
You're not an 8-ball. You're not a magic 8-ball. You give me straight answers.
But-
you don't do this.
But seriously, if Bran didn't say nothing, they would have dropped it. Like how they just dropped everything.
No,
and
he
moved on.
he could have just said,
Which
I'm
they-
thinking about marrying her.
Which they did right there. They just moved on.
Yeah,
didn't
which they
stick
moved
any kind
on,
of conversation
man.
about that. Like there should have been some kind of interaction.
Oh
some
my
kind of
god,
something.
I think a lot of that stuff they did for time, but I think it made it worse.
Give us one more season. Fuck it.
I think it made it worse because it's
now if it's gonna be like this, I'm going out this way.
It would have been
and-
great if they did another season, because then everything could have gotten done the way it should have been done.
See, but like the books ended in 2011 so far, so it's like they'd have to start making.
I'm telling you, the
Holy
fucking.
shit.
I'm
They-
telling you,
they
the,
watch
the in the books, the last thing in the book is John dying.
right,
So,
right.
like, technically, to people who read the books and didn't want to touch this show, in honor of not ruining the books, all they know is John is dead.
Right.
So, I mean, it might not even happen the way all this happens.
Absolutely.
He might come back, like, at the end of the book and be Azor Ahai or whatever, because it would make
Right.
sense, because there's so many things, so many theories that fit together. But I mean, I'm not always about the theory stuff, though, because, I mean, you can pull theories from
Oh,
anywhere.
now, these days, people come up with the craziest theories I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's true, but in terms of this shit, like, I'll put it this way. I am starting to hate Bran because at this point, like I said, I want explanations. I want somebody to make something clear. Shit, why wouldn't you even, like, what the Three-Eyed Raven did? I want to see that. Take Jon, take Sansa, take Arya back in the past. Let them see the fucking scene.
I did.
Let them see Aunt Lyanna make Ned Stark promise. Maybe that would have made it so. Maybe that would have made it so they would have actually kept their fucking word.
See, that's another thing.
And honestly, Sansa's fucking done for me, bro. She fucking ruined so much shit, and there was no point to it. There's literally no point to it. You should be happy. Your brother, who is the Warden of the North, will become the king. You don't have to say shit about shit. And this is what I keep saying, like, literally, and Tyrion kept bringing it up, which I thought was the best thing to say. They could just marry, and
they're
it's
trying to kind of force like this ideology.
tension between the two of them.
That too, but they're trying to force like an idea, like a philosophy or whatever through Sansa, that she kind of wants the North to be independent. She doesn't want to be married off no more. She doesn't want, to be really have to be connected to the other kingdoms and ever have to worry about leaving or this or that. She wants it to be its own separate entity, because you could be fucking
Because
safe.
if you go back in time, like, they were separate until Robert became king, really. Like, they fought and got
Nah, they bent the
they-
knee beforehand.
Yes.
They bent the knee to
But
the
they-
Targaryen
But they did
conqueror.
get back their thing, I would say.
No, they were always
But they was-
under the
But when
control of
Robert
the
was
king.
there, they were still running their own shit. The only reason that they were cool with Robert is because him and they were best friends.
Yeah, but also the fact that they were underneath the Targaryens, and when Robert took control.
Lyanna Stark, all that shit like that. She got kidnapped up. They had to join forces.
Yeah, I know that, but the fact of the matter is, Legacy was gonna go Legacy. When they took out the Targaryens, whoever took over is gonna be control of all that shit in the first place. There'd be a war if they tried to go
I'm
independent.
gonna say that's probably why like fucking Ned Stark maybe didn't become king and shit like that.
He didn't have no right to it.
No, he had an equal right to Robert.
Yeah, but he didn't want to be.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason probably Robert became king, because Ned is like, listen, I'm king in the North pretty much. Like, I don't need to do any of that over there. I'm already.
Well,
straight.
he rallied the houses against to Aerys Targaryen because he was crazy, and they thought that Aerys had kidnapped Lyanna, and that's what sparked it all. Lyanna getting kidnapped instead of like I'm not saying like I wanted to be
fucking
with Robert.
Bitch. I'ma say fucking bitch.
Always.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it always.
I will. Pin that on me.
I'll put it. And again, I think this episode was pretty clever in certain ways, but in other ways, I kind of again, I wanted to have more proof, more evidence, and more like actually in depth talking about what the fuck is going on. Like,
So, let me jump off topic.
go ahead. Go.
How y'all feel about that interaction between Gendry and Arya?
The kissing and stuff?
Yeah, and him.
Oh, trying to marry, yeah. I mean...
I'm confused.
Yeah.
What are you confused about?
I don't get Arya's arc. What are they doing?
She is... I get it. She is the arc of her wolf, Nymeria. Because that's her exact words she said to Gendry. Mm-hmm. She said about Nymeria. Okay. She said, that's not me anymore. Because when she first got back to Westeros after all that shit with the Faceless Men, she saw Nymeria and her giant pack of wolves. And she looked at her and she was like, oh, yo, come with me, girl. And she turned around and walked away. And she's like, it's just not you. So, like, she wants to die. She's empty inside. She's a killer. Apparently, even to the point where literally, I mean,
I don't think she wants to die. I just don't think she feels like she doesn't have a place anymore.
But what made her feel that way?
Her arc now is very confusing with turning that down. Because it's like, okay, we've seen where she came from. She's been through all of that kind of stuff. The Night's King, apparently. Now, what do we do with her? And I don't know, it would just seem more sensible for her to get married to Gendry, because it's not like she'd be forced to do any kind of crazy lady.
Yeah, but that's why she also said she's like, I'm not a lady. But she would have to be like a lady.
I'd tell you right now, if he didn't say be my lady, he probably would like, oh, marry me. She'd probably be like, okay. But you brought up the lady title, like that was the problem. She be Lady of Winterfell. People are like, yo, just be my wife, you know. But that again, she'd still correlate the two. She'd have to be Lady of Storm's End.
Storm's End even have anybody? I've never seen anybody in Storm's End.
Sir Davos is from Storm's End.
Yeah, Sir Davos, like that shit is always dead.
Yeah, well, because Stannis didn't do a great job at the end there. He kind of went stupid. But I mean, they're still there. All those people that fucking burnt like their fucking his daughter, those fucking monsters over there in fucking Storm's End. I mean, I'm happy for Gendry. I like his character arc, and another character I didn't think would be making it to like 3 episodes left in Game of Thrones ever. I did not. If you would have told me who would have been made it here, I wouldn't have said him. I wouldn't have said him. I wouldn't have said him. I wouldn't have said Podrick. I wouldn't have said Jamie. I wouldn't have said.
It makes sense now.
Put some respect in his name. That's Sir Podrick.
Sir Podrick. I'm sorry. Upgrade. I can't call him that anymore. But I don't know. For me personally, I like I said, I thought it was more about her like not being conformed to that. But honestly, I think it's a little SJW. Like, I don't need a man. Yeah. I can save the day, and I'm gonna go save. Who is she trying to kill now? Cersei? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's weird to me though. That's weird to me. Like, out of everyone, Cersei has been so far away from her, and she's just gonna walk in there. Oh no! She's gonna sneak in like a viper and kill Cersei in her sleep.
If she gets the 2 most MVP kills,
she's gonna get the 2 MVP kills.
Get out of here!
She's gonna be the 2 MVP. She's gonna be MVP. They're gonna make her MVP.
She's gonna be the super MVP.
Super MVP. She's gonna tiptoe past the mountain, slide off his shoulder pad.
That's why she's rolling with Clegane for when Clegane rolls going.
That's why it was gonna happen.
Sling, jib.
Then it's the Super Arya Brothers Super Show.
The Super Arya Brothers Super Show. No, absolutely. Because at this point, they're gonna slip in like ninjas and come out like bandits.
It's their show. They do what they want, but I'm not gonna really like it. So I'm not gonna really like this season. Mm. I'm gonna like episode 3. I like this episode 4, a little bit further from episode 3, but I like episode 4 so far.
Well, I mean, episode 4, I mean, can you actually say, any other episode besides episode 4? It's the only one with real meat on the bones of the episode.
The first 2 episodes are pure garbage.
I'm not going to say pure garbage, but it could have been one episode. All that information that happened in the first 2 episodes had to happen, but they had to happen in one episode. Mm-hmm. All they need to double stuff these episodes. They need like 2-hour episodes. They have to cheat. It's like, all right, well, there's only going to be 6 episodes, but they're 2 hours each episode.
Yeah, we could have had like that fight was grand, but like the whole fight with the Night's King, that should have been 2 episodes.
I think that whole setup could have been 2 episodes.
That's how I thought the
entire fight could have been 2 whole episodes. Like everything that happened in that one episode, that could have been part 2 of a part 1. The part 1 could have been pure fighting, pure fucking struggle, pure fucking zombies licking skulls. Mm-hmm. for a while, build up more tension, because the tension was there in that episode. But you need to ramp that shit up. If you wanted to have it like Helm's Deep and shit, you want to have like real feeling. I liked it, but it didn't have the gravitas it should have had with more time.
Like, it's just not looking good so far. Like, again, I like the episode personally, but like the consensus is starting to be like on the internet that I couldn't see nothing. Like, you're seeing a lot of those complaints. I didn't see nothing, and the Arya finish, or we didn't get enough with the Night King, and so it's. And
we definitely didn't get enough of it.
We definitely didn't, but I'm saying, like, with all the complaints, it's starting to make it.
My man, the Meme King, we didn't have enough Meme King. I want a meme of him fucking stepping out the fire with a smile. Right. That could be a fucking start into a fighting game. Y'all motherfuckers edit that shit into a fighting game. That's like Rugal B's opening, okay? Fire.
We're coming to a point where it's like, that's supposed to be one of the best episodes in all of Game of Thrones, and people have major gripes with it, and it's not.
Well, I mean, I think you always have major gripes with everything, really.
No,
anybody's always gonna have a problem with something.
Prior to season season 6 and before, no, everybody has just been talking solely great about the show.
Now, a lot of people had their gripes about season.
Yeah, I mean, people always have problems about something.
But I don't. The reason why I don't count that is because those are the motherfuckers who have no attention span. These are the motherfuckers who they can't get into something when it first started because they don't really like that genre. I don't like video games, but when it gets lit in season 3, I'm there. And those are motherfuckers you got to explain to them what happened in the first 2 seasons.
Well, that's why I keep since Game of Thrones is ending, I keep seeing that one there. I don't know if I should get started in the Game of Thrones. And everyone, and I see these comments like, get into it. I'm like, yo, it's been 8 seasons. If you haven't watched it, don't.
These are the kind of motherfuckers that in the movie theater you gotta
stop seeking attention.
Trying to be a part of something you're not. These are the people who. You're in a movie theater, you're watching a superhero movie, they're asking you who is this motherfucker and who's that they clearly should know. That's Cyclops. I should have to. Why are you here again? What are you doing here?
I mean, I don't know.
Everybody said I should like this.
I don't know. In different terms, I would say to a lesser extent, this superhero movies, because superheroes aren't uninclusive. They're supposed to be for everyone. And if you walk into one, the only thing I would say is don't ask. Go find out, because that does what I felt was the best thing about these superhero movies and stuff was that it actually might get somebody to actually go to a comic book store and pick up the newest comic or pick up and read about who you liked in this shit and maybe go put some money into the pocket of those creators, because that whole genre is fucking going off the rails.
And I'm not even saying you got to get into everything on episode 1, season 1. Maybe you wait for 2 or 3 or 4 seasons.
Shit, I didn't get into it until I think season 2 or 3.
You go back and you watch it. My problem is people who will jump in on the lit season, the one where all the fans are whatever, and they don't go back to research anything. They just hop
if you watch it in a vacuum, I don't think it would mean much. If you watch it in a vacuum, didn't know about Tyrion or anybody like that,
then it'd be rough because they have so many characters by then.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody was asking me about it, I was like, yo, don't worry about it, because like you don't even need to, like, half the people in first season aren't even there anymore. So it's like, it's like you wouldn't even understand, like, where's Rob? Like, there's too much questions.
A lot of the shit started because Ned, you know what I'm saying, a lot of decisions Ned made to spin this stuff off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you be just sitting up there lost in the sauce.
That's why going back to the episode, that's what I thought was pretty poignant with the little conversation between, that was the last episode where I thought it was actually pretty nice. I like Sansa. Like, she was actually talking to the Hound. And she was like, he's like, this was all ended. It never would have happened to you if I didn't take you. Like, you wouldn't have been with Ramsay or anybody.
I don't like her response to that. But then I would have still been the same little bird.
I mean, it makes it what didn't kill her made her stronger.
Absolutely,
basically.
But at the same time, the reason why I don't like it, because to me it's a very hurtful thing as a guy. It's SJW shit. Thank the motherfucker.
No, I mean, I'd still say that in this
If
climate, and that's the Hound. He's not asking. He'd probably say, "I don't want your fucking things."
And that's cool, but that doesn't mean that you have to be an asshole. That's him. He's an asshole.
But I think, honestly, I think it was said without being said that she's thanking him for being that strong because of that.
For me, it sounds like a whole dismissal. Like, yeah, if that didn't happen, I would have still been this way. It sounds very unappreciative.
YouTube, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I like to know.
Maybe I read into it wrong or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, when I look at the whole story, when we were talking about it, the Hound's not a bad guy. He's cantankerous as hell. He is. But he's genuinely has a heart of gold. He doesn't want to see nobody getting raped. Joffrey sat there and told him, listen, don't even do anything about that. Yo, just get me from point A to point B. And he went out of his way to go out into a mob and save this chick anyway. Did the same thing for the sister. He's legitimately a good guy, living in a shitty world. And he has to kind of apply certain things to that to make sure he's still alive to be able to protect people. So when all is said and done, all this stuff happened, and they're sitting across from each other, and he's like, oh, whatever happened to you if you just stayed with me or whatever. We gotten past the point that, I look kind of scary and shit. You can look at me now, whatever. And she just looks back and she's like, see much worse, etc. But, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't, be who I am today. It's like, I don't know if even necessarily that's such a good thing, because he kind of a bitch today.
Oh,
but she was always a bitch.
Honestly, I thought that was the last part of the episode. So let's talk about the big two this episode,
Let's go back before we get into the big two. Let's touch on a few more things.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
My favorite scenes when Bronn shows up.
My
favorite scenes when Bronn shows up.
Swagging it out.
Swaggy P! Swaggy B! Yo, I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing up that shit. Because honestly, though, I felt it was a little cliche because I felt like it was set up for that shit. The two characters in the room.
You knew he wasn't taking any of those two out. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't make any sense, but just the way it's set up, like the two of them in a room by themselves talking. I was like, Bran, I'm sorry. Yeah. We go back to the last episode I was talking about when I was talking about the top 10 fighters in Game of Thrones. That almost pushes her up. That pushes them up way past Arya. They both have the fucking sneak jutsu. They can get past anyone to anywhere. She sneaked up on the on the Night's King, the Memes King, and this motherfucker sneaked up with loaded crossbow in hand
in the castle, talking shit
in a full castle full of motherfuckers to go talk his shit.
Dragons.
Yo, I'm sorry. He's my boy. He's number one in Game of Thrones fighting to me. Bran, he's number one.
And I like his come up skills.
Mm-hmm. Oh, his come up skills is he was sliding off his fucking elbows.
I made you, and he's like, yeah, look, but that was yesterday, man.
But I mean, they give me River. So what you?
What you got for River Run, baby?
What's double River Run?
What's double River Run? And honestly, I felt bad. When he said High Garden, because
we know
that's all. No, I mean he absolutely could. They absolutely, and that's the sad part. He absolutely could because they devastated that entire family.
They took all their money.
The Tyrells have nothing.
The Tyrells are done.
No, I'm sure there's some minor Tyrells still there. They didn't ruin the whole family. That was the top
that's
brat.
The main family.
They killed the top brat. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, Jaime did walk up in that castle and hand that bitch a vial of poison. You're not just walking up in there unless they let you in or you took everyone out.
They took everyone out.
So yeah, and Jaime did say House Gardner would never be run by a scoundrel or some shit like that. And I even love his response. He said everyone's house has started with that shit.
I like Jaime. Jaime was trying to negotiate back. He was like, yo, suck my dick. Alright, got it. Yo, get out of here.
And he's just shouting out around and reloading. It's like, what you gotta say now, bro?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And see, that's...
second viewer, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Thanks for watching. I was actually, really shocked. Not shocked, but I was kind of trying to anticipate what was going to happen between them. His personality is always very lax towards Tyrion. and he's always tells her how it is. So I wasn't like when he punched him. That I knew that turn was gonna happen like that. Where it's like, no, I'm gonna be serious with you for a minute. We always fuck around,
because he's in a hot spot right now. He's like in between where he doesn't want.
He didn't have to be though. He set that situation up to be that. He literally could have walked into there like, yo, what's good? I came late. I saw dragons. I wasn't going to fight him. Yeah, so then he could have blended right in. They would have picked him up because they absolutely said, he said, yo, we're going there tomorrow. You could have been there. He could have literally been there anytime he wanted. He wanted to make that situation known. That's why, again, I respect that.
Tyrion spoke to him before he left in that room with all the skulls, dragon skulls and shit like that. So they knew he was with Cersei, so he couldn't really just
not in that way like that.
Yeah,
nah, because if he showed up, that already means he's already against her wishes.
But they know who Bronn is.
Yeah, Bronn, at the end of the day, he's looking out for himself.
You know his pedigree. I'd be like, oh, wait, don't stand behind me, nigga. Get in front of me. I'm
glad you brought that up because I really did like that scene. And again, that brings up that dude Bronn is fucking that dude. Like he's not dumb. He's not. He's playing both sides. And I mean, that's why he's like, give me your word. Again, go back to the fucking Sansa bullshit. Give me your fucking word, bitch. Give me your fucking word, bitch.
Like, mini chili beanie.
Give me your fucking word. I mean, Sansa's mud to me now, honestly. She's mud to me. But is there anything you want to get into before we get into those two?
The Arya and Sansa kind of paired up like, hey, what's going on?
I don't know. It looks like Arya didn't say nothing, and I think, and honestly, out of both of them, I think she would actually keep her fucking word. First off, she doesn't confide in anyone. That's why I thought it was pretty poignant that at the end, who paired up? Arya and the Hound, because that's the only companion she ever really knew.
Well, that's as you say. If they're gonna make her the super MVP, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be Clegane Bowl, and she's gonna sneak in through Clegane Bowl.
Sneak in through Clegane Bowl,
is it me or is this fucking the mountain look scarier every episode?
Oh my god!
It's like every episode they make him like even eviler and more. Like I'm looking at him and I'm like, you know, now it's like dark in there.
no, this show body had like blood red eyes,
but his eyes are like mad spaced out this time.
Yeah, before you can see like some skin, mad dark.
He's getting worse up every time. He's getting either better or worse. He's just leveling up just by standing there. Like
intimidation points. He gets intimidation points. It's Skyrim. Yeah. Everyone, there's a fucking category for all that shit. It was an intimidation and shit. And and that's what I'm saying. Like, so many people in this episode leveled up, fucking leveled out. Because in this shit, for me personally, certain people, they're done at this point for me. And I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else to really talk about before we get into any like the series. Like I want to talk a little in depth about certain people, but like, is anything you think we missed though? Okay, so let's talk about this bitch Sansa.
Okay.
First off, I do not believe she's a good actress in terms of movies. She's just not very good. But I'm not going to get into that. I just wanted to bring that up because I've said this before on plenty of occasions. But I find her personality in this episode not contrary to what she's been doing, so it's kind of on the same track. But it's, for me, it felt really almost rushed and poorly thought out. Because she might not like fucking Daenerys.
She's picking unnecessary fights.
Yeah, like unnecessary. Every time she talks, she has this like look where she'll like look back and look down, and with her like.
Bitch, I ain't listening to you. I heard nothing.
Like, bitch, I ain't listened to a single word you just said. What'd you say? Huh? No, I didn't listen to that neither. Like, and that's why I keep like, and it keep even in situations where she's not around. Like when she was in the crypt with 2 episodes ago when they were in the crypt. She was like, "Oh, it would never work between me and you, Tyrion, because it's the Dragon Queen." And even Missandei is like, "Yeah, because if it wasn't for her, we all be fucking dead."
And again, this is what I don't like about the season. In its entirety, forced shit, like things that need to be.
This shit out of anyone, it should be fucking maybe Aya being mad at her because she's younger and a little more naive and like trying to think she's trying to manipulate her brother. But Sansa should fucking know better than all this stupid shit. Because she's even doing this shit in places where everyone, like that meeting.
Especially after the conversation they had.
Yeah, like even the meeting, like when they were talking about, like, she's like, yo, we might need a couple of days for the rest of the troops. She says true shit, but packs it full of shit that's not necessary. Like, and though Daenerys being the person Daenerys is, snaps back on her like, oh, well, I devoted all this time and myself to this, you gonna say you can't do it now? Like, Jon was in the middle like, yo, babe!
Yeah.
Nah, we good. We all good, right, Sansa? Sansa, we good, right?
And I mean, honestly, even without them playing Sansa and, to that extent, Daenerys still has a bunch of stuff to be paranoid over. That's just how it is when you're a leader.
Well, we're gonna get into her next. The two, like I said, the two people I think are the main people we want to talk about. I'm sorry. I was
gonna say. I'm just saying that's why they didn't really need to go that route with Sansa. They're just really forcing,
and they're making her very unlikable at this point. At a certain point, people are like really kind of rooted for her.
Unlikable since the first season.
She was picking on her. They had a redemption arc in there.
To make her
when she started getting raped and all kinds of shit, and she's like persevering through that.
I feel you,
which is fucked up to make her arc being like basically tortured. But
for me, honestly, I'm a kind of a different kind of viewer. She was almost the same different as Theon to me, like a guy who did some bullshit.
Was Jigman
who did some bullshit. Was very unlikable. Kind of put themselves in because both of them, Sansa as well as Theon, through their lack of wisdom, put themselves in their positions. Her trying to be close to Joffrey instead of her family, and whatever, and it ended up being in these totally worse scenarios, and then having to make it out of there on their own. And so there was like some redemption there. Which I agree with you now. I don't understand why they're rolling it back,
because it's making it hard to like her now. Because not only did she's starting this friction with Daenerys, but then she breaks her promise to Jon almost immediately. But what I find hilarious is she didn't even, if she did, he knew he wasn't gonna keep it. Made Tyrion promise not to say nothing. Because I even think that Tyrion might not have said it. If she probably was just like, yo, I'm telling you this. Bam. Because she wants to let off the bombs. She wants the bombs to go off. But I'm trying to understand her end goal here. Her end goal is basically to have Daenerys' people turn against her and give the throne to Jon.
I mean, no. Actually,
then the only thing else of that is they're just gonna get Jon killed.
Technically, yeah, but no, she just wants Jon to be king in the north. She doesn't really care if he's king of the seven. Now, it's nice if he becomes king of the seven kingdoms. Cool.
I don't think that's the truth.
She'll take that, but she really just wants him to be king.
I don't believe that, because if that was the case, I mean, it's already past the point where that could be a realistic goal at this point. Jon, at this point, Jon is either going to be the king or the king and queen. That's why, honestly, I don't like this friction. It's just marry her, and that's the end of it.
I don't know why they're making it a big deal about it.
He kissed her! He's kissing her! They fucked!
Fucking her.
It's too late to turn back now. And if you actually do love her, then it's already too late. It's already too late. So no one knows. And again, I'm a say I don't like Jon as much as I used to, just because of this stupidness.
It's the problem.
He knew about this bomb that was gonna happen if he did this,
it's the problem.
And he still did it. And that's gonna bring a rift. It brought a rift automatically between him and Daenerys. As soon as he grabbed her by the head, he's like, "Yo, we're family," and everything. And he's like, "Yeah." Okay. She's like, "All right, I get it now." And honestly, that's what I think. Unless you got something else to say about Sansa.
You gotta understand Daenerys and her whole family thing, because The only family she really had was her brother, and he seen basically what he did to her.
Yeah, and honestly, I guess that's gonna move us on to Daenerys, which
Before we
honestly.
get to Daenerys, there was one thing we forgot to mention. They actually made Brienne feminine.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, I don't know how to feel about this whole thing with Brienne because I mean, I liked like it almost came out of nowhere. But if you watch the episodes, then you can see this kind of tension they build up between the two.
Were at, River Run.
Yeah, since they were together that whole time, that whole ordeal, like you could feel the tension between them. But it was just like, she's like, I'm going, and then like he just shows up and is like, yeah, well, we're gonna fuck now. Like,
yeah, I felt like that Kanye West song. Let's give it up for the douchebags. Like I was like, God damn, Jamie really got like. I felt like somebody who deserved it should have got it.
Like who?
Really,
Podrick?
Tormund.
You want Tormund to fuck her?
I
wanted Tormund or nobody. Okay, Tormund or nobody.
Yeah, but they've established that they've been showing that Jamie's the one she wants to give it to.
I never thought that. I never thought that she wanted to give it to
that
Jamie.
Jamie was the one she.
I mean, I could see hints of that. I guess she's always was talking about like liking Renly and guys. I guess of that magnitude and shit like that.
I don't think she likes her because of who he is. I think he likes her. I think he likes her. I think she likes him because she's seen him.
It's like a knightly.
Yeah, no, but she's seen him be this knightly person, despising that kind of nobility and snobberish, then dragged down to the mud where he lost a hand and saw the vulnerable side of Jamie.
I always just thought this bitch like.
Because I always felt that the
Moonlight Nights and shit.
For me personally, I felt when he got his hand cut off and he was in the fucking tub, when they went in the tub together and he was fucked up. I think that was the time where she's like, all right, I could probably fuck with this dude.
I think
he's a different person, and I think that as Brienne as a character, she's that kind of like, okay, I can see the nobility of what you're doing. That's why she stood up for him. Like, nah, he saved me, whatever. So like, you can convert her to your side, you know what I mean? You could change her mind about people. I'm maybe almost one of the only people you probably could. Him and John, maybe, because John's turned the other cheek a million different times. Yeah. But everyone else, that's what I'm saying. Like it's downhill now with Daenerys.
She's getting the crazy twitch.
Yeah, let's get to the Daenerys stuff, which I'm glad he brought up the Brienne stuff because I would have completely swooped past it. The Daenerys stuff, man. This is like one of the first times where I feel really icky every time they show her, and I think they purposely kind of did it that way, just like to show like even the music. As they were just painting on her face, I thought it was beautiful. They almost painted her emotions by the music. And it's like she's just like looking around. And it's like that's what for me. That's what it sounded like. It was like Jamie and fucking Tyrion. My fucking dragons.
My goddamn dragons. I lost too much.
Yeah, I feel like she's starting to get that point where it's like I'm giving a lot and I'm hearing flack and I'm kind of crazy. So I'm not feeling.
I don't know. I don't think she's crazy.
I think her emotions and honestly I think that's a big downfall. If they want to do this SJW stuff to make her crutch be that she's kind of her emotions are kind of getting the best of her. It's not a great.
I don't think so. I think they're writing her into a corner. Right, so like they're putting her into this place where look, her whole arc has been to be the ruler of all this shit, and it's coming to the point where she's putting all this work, and now it's kind of being like, well, by default, it's not gonna matter, and she's like, nah, hell no, man. So
I've worked my ass off for this shit.
Yeah, so it's like I can't. Like, if I just let it go and just be like, oh, fuck it, I'll marry John. Like, then what has my life been for? Like, I'd rather kind of just kill this and that motherfucker, and I'll definitely kill this motherfucker over here, and just rule or whatever. And that's what's scaring everybody off. But it's like she's putting so much, and she's getting all, angsty, and her anxiety is up.
Yeah, I said I twitch a couple of times.
Right? She doesn't want to lose. You know, she doesn't want to take any kind of losses. I don't know.
I think that's naive that she didn't think she was going to take losses. Like, the Missandei shit, that was going to happen.
No, true. And but that's what I'm saying. It's supposed to piss you off. That kind of shit's supposed to piss you off.
And
it's just...
to me, she already lost her Jorah, so, you know.
Her dragons.
And he's the one who stood by her, like, supported her the most out of everybody.
Right.
And now with this whole... Like the whole dinner where everybody's like focused more on John.
I think that was super John Petty, right?
What?
It was a bunch of drunk people talking about shit.
But it's as a leader, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, you put in all this work to be like, yo, you know, I'm gonna be the king of this shit tomorrow. You hear like everybody around you like, yo, this motherfucker really though.
They never undermined her shit. They bigged her up, but the fact of the matter is, Tormund.
Look.
No, I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt what you're saying. But in terms of like how it was, I don't think in my position, I don't think I would have took it serious because like everyone's just fucking drunk and having a good time. Yeah, and everything they said, they didn't say, "Oh, well, you're fucking better than anybody else." They were just like, "Yo, you fucking got killed. You're back to life. It's fucking crazy," which is generally fucking crazy. Anybody would have fucking said that shit.
But as soon as they mentioned the word king. That is what triggered it in her head.
Okay, well, it goes.
Well, everyone knows that they're together, though.
But there's also this big point that I was going to say: 48 laws of power. Rule number 1: never outshine the master. So they go into this story in the book where I can't remember all the names of European motherfuckers, but there was a French king, and he had this dude under him, and the dude was throwing the king a party. Now, like, the dude...
I think I heard this story before.
The dude had all these, like, cool connections. He threw this crazy-ass Cirque du Soleil ram jam.
Night of the Deep Throats?
Night of the Deep Throats has fucking party.
Vitamin berries?
I don't know. There might have been yogurt fountains. Hot shit you ain't never seen before. And hot shit you only have seen since. Right? And it embarrassed the fuck out of the king because he couldn't do that. Right? And so everybody was just talking about this motherfucker the next day, even though the party was for the king to show how, the honor of the king or whatever. Everybody was talking about this dude, and they just loved his party. So the king took his chance to be like, you know what, we're going to look into this motherfucker's whole, we're going to audit this motherfucker. Oh, there's not a couple of things that look right. And the king had known that, he was doing a little bit of shit for him on the side. He's like, I don't know nothing about that. We got to put you in jail.
I never heard of no mayor.
Never heard of that. You got to go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
No, but see, it's a John Petty kind of thing to do.
But it's a thing that normally happens, right? And I think that's what they're trying to do. Like, you even though it was unintentional, right? You got to really be careful.
Well, that's why I thought it was cool too. I thought that's why the tension ramped up because, again, it's a fucking everyone's drunk and having a good time. They're not saying anything.
So the other
maybe if they weren't in earshot of the kid of her, maybe it wouldn't even mean anything.
The last thing they explain with that, like how, because they kind of tell you how to hurt that kind of shit. Like the one dude, he was a scientist and he would find all kinds of crazy shit. But he would say stuff like, I'm going to name this star after the king. I found this new constellation. I'm going to name this shit after the king. Or, when people would say, yo, you did this and that. He's like, nah, man, that was like the king. The king funded that shit. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do that. Or it was kind of preordained that, you know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
the king
you got to throw that praise up for the king before.
And none of that's happening right now.
But at the same time, when they're bigging up John and everything, he looked back and trying to make sure that she's good.
Yeah, but he's not subverting it.
He's not subverting it, but he's still trying to see how she's reacting.
I mean, again, it's established that they're together as a couple, and she's fucking gonna rule shit. So that's why he said, for me, that's why he's like, oh, you're gonna be the king, because she's gonna be the queen. She's running shit.
Again, when motherfuckers are doing shit like, oh, and I saw you ride the dragon, like, I've been riding the dragons for years. What is going on right now?
Am I taking crazy pills?
I'm just trying to live on, man. Like, nah, that's it. I'm out of this party. You're not doing this shit. Absolutely not. Not doing it.
I mean, I think the level of chill Daenerys has is very, very hard. Because she could be cool, like how she gives big ups to Arya, but she'll take a drunk dude big enough.
She's trying. She really is trying. She's not crazy. She's trying. She's working with again, she can't see the future or nothing like that. So she's trying to prevent certain shit from even happening in the first place.
She's trying, as he said, she's trying to make all that hard work be for not be for nothing.
Right. She doesn't, she's trying to root shit out. Like, listen, this could happen. I don't want, let's nip this shit in the bud right now. This nigga's like, well, I can't lie. And she's like, I mean, all right, well, I'm just telling you right now, I do people dirty. So I would hate for you to have to get done dirty, but
I don't think he's gonna do him dirty.
I don't think she wants to. Again, I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's crazy yet. It's just she's doing what she kind of gotta do. They're writing her in a corner.
So what about how y'all feel about when they rolled up in the water?
Okay, let's talk about the losses here. That dragon took the biggest L I've seen in a while, and it kept coming, and I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
oh!"
Good old Game of Thrones death.
That Ruby. Oh! I don't even know what the fuck she was doing there, though.
What's with dragons and always falling into the water when they're dying?
Yo, well, because it's cooler, I guess, or it's easier on the CG budget to not have a fucking splayed dragon all over the floor with pieces and bones.
But I mean, you saw them in the background, even while that other scene happened that I'm not going to mention yet.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way.
You're going to say that for the end of the video.
Oh my god. Let me put it this way, bro. When he caught it in the face, in the neck.
Yep.
With the DMX song.
Like, it just
caught him in the shoulder, the neck, the ear, going out fast. The last thing I hear.
When he hit it in the chest, I was like, oh. He's probably done. I was like, he's probably done. That's probably done. And then the next couple came, I was like.
And it's crazy, like, they know they have ballistas. Did she just figure that they only had the one that she destroyed?
Maybe, because I guess ballistas are fairly new.
Not only that, but she probably thought they were out of range and not a fixed position. Because I think the biggest shock about that part was that Euron's army was right there. So his fleet was right there. I don't think it was I mean, of course, there's the shock of the dragon getting hit and dying, but it was like their army was there. They didn't know the army was there. Right. When she turned around, they almost made it seem like it came out of nowhere. Like right. That's how they kind of wanted to make it seem.
Yeah.
So
how they did it is that they were kind of hidden by like.
They were around the castle because remember Casterly Rock.
No, but that's not castle. That's what do you call it?
King's Landing.
King's Landing has a port on the back side.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like there was the island on the side that was kind of blocking them.
Yeah, and I mean that scene was pretty. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. This episode wanted to give you this lull because there's bound to be a lull happening, but then tried to subvert you with these biting little things at the end, like the dragon beefing it that hard. Mm-hmm. I didn't like. Again, these dragons almost are there for nothing. Honestly, they've done very little in the story. I mean, they've been a really cool set piece, and some of the coolest things have happened with the dragons.
They would have lost that fight against the Night King if it weren't for the dragons, definitely, because they took out a lot of zombies.
It's true. They took out a lot.
They didn't show it. We know they did.
Yeah, we did. We know they did. But for me personally, the dragons' death was pretty crazy. I mean, and the way they did it, very, very sharp, very out of nowhere, very unforgiving, like Game of Thrones does. Which I appreciate. It's almost like the death of the Lord's Commander in the other episode. It's very like they have this very big crescendo. They're like panning over it, and it's like yak.
But
she flew at them. She flew at them with a bunch of ballistas. She should have been croaked right there. Honestly,
Well,
like
they shot that volley of arrows. I was like, I know they can't kill her. I'm like. At that moment, I'm not gonna lie. After that one dragon died, I was like, "Oh, are they gonna go?"
I thought she was gonna fall. Right. She'd get hit and fall into the water.
I would have figured she would have fall back and had everybody fall back.
I thought she was gonna get flacked by a bunch of arrows, and Drogon drops into the ocean, and she has to like swim, and they have to like race to get her before like fucking Theon's people get her or whatever. And I mean, I thought that scene was really cool. Combined with just the next thing you see is the giant Cersei smile. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Cersei for a minute, where she's getting everybody into the castle.
She's like, listen here, baby boy. We know. She's playing Joker rules, my nigga. I know you want to say these people, Batman. I know you're good. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's edging her way into my top 100 favorite
Kill
villains.
everyone here. Then everyone will know you can't be trusted, and I'll still win because no one will accept you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's pushing her closer to doing that, but I don't know if that's even the smartest thing to do. Because it's going to turn her into an enemy of the people. If she starts roasting everyone alive.
There's
She's
no
gonna
people.
start now.
If
That's
there's
it.
no people, she can't be in
Look,
with the people.
she's at the highest point of passivity. Passivity at this point.
Passivity?
No, passivity. There's no way she's not roasting everybody in King's Landing now. She doesn't give a fuck. And I wouldn't either. I'm going to say I'm no better than her if, like, you know what I'm saying, my man's wife just got her shit sliced open. I'd be like, oh, you fucked everybody in that courtyard just right now. Oh, no. Oh, I'm a bad guy now. Oh, because I couldn't look my man in the face and be like, yo, we still, we got to be diplomatic. I'd be like, yeah, we're going to fuck everybody in there, man.
Yeah,
fuck
but
everybody over.
I understand that, but let's be blunt about things.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even have the upper hand anymore. Like, Cersei absolutely has the upper hand on this shit.
No. She still got that one dragon.
I'm sorry,
all she
they
needed
killed
was-
that dragon very
If they
easily.
could get the ballistas somehow.
They're all over the parapets. You didn't see?
Yeah,
They were everywhere.
They had that shit
They
all
didn't.
over.
They don't have one or two. They have them mounted on their ships. They have them mounted on the castle. And
Turn
they,
into anti-dragon establishment.
why the fuck wouldn't you? It's a castle.
You absolutely would.
It's
You're
a
right.
castle, and we know their army is decimated. They don't have a siege. They don't have a siege fucking thing. Maybe they do, because I definitely don't think that their plan to fucking starve out the city, I don't think that's working anymore.
Why not?
You need more than one dragon to do that
No, you
shit.
don't. You
With
just-
that many ballistas,
Well,
All you need to do
the way they
is...
were going to starve it out is they were going to take control of the water,
You're right.
which
You're right.
they
You're right.
definitely don't have.
which they definitely don't have. They lost, if
Wait a
not
minute.
all of their ships.
Wait a minute. Theon's sister.
Yara.
Yeah, she got.
Yara's gonna have to come
She
with
gotta make a
Greyjoy
play.
ships.
Remember, she did build those other ships dumb quick.
Yeah, she got to make a
That
play.
season, that time.
Well, and then she said something
Yes.
like she's gonna need ships if she wins or some shit like that.
Some shit. I think the last thing she said is, you guys could fall back to the island. If certain
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
happened,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, they
yeah.
did mention that they were just in contact with them. So.
Yeah,
Listen, we know that gotta happen now. Yara's gotta come. Be
that's
like,
the only other
listen,
way she's gonna get ships.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
So-
again, I don't think she has the upper hand in this situation anymore.
No, well, again, if they could find a way to deal with the ballistas, that's their only claim to even being on par with
Their
her.
win is coming down to, honestly, to me, to Jaime, Arya, and the Hound.
I mean, I think it's gonna end when Cersei goes down, but it's gonna be about who takes her down and what the outcome of that is.
I gotta see.
I think because she's out.
we
She's
gotta
going
see
out.
what happens in this next episode. How they're getting the ballistas away. How they're getting in the city at this point.
They can't get rid of the ballistas.
Well, then again, she did. But she left the doors open. She said.
No, she left the door open to the inner sanctum, so the people
Yeah,
from what's called can come into the red keep, into the main area where the main castles, not the outdoor gates.
Okay,
like with the people to go freely throughout the entire place. She's basically inviting all the people to be everywhere in the castle, around the castle, in the streets. She's opening all the doors to let anybody go through anywhere.
They don't have the ballistas on those doors though.
They have ballistas facing outward between the whole castle. If you seen when Tyrion walked up, you could see from the side.
Oh, yeah,
they
that
have
part.
ballistas all down
Yeah,
that side,
absolutely.
all down this side, all around the back side. And I mean, they're it's a castle. It's a fucking castle.
Yeah.
Dothraki aren't doing shit to a castle. Fucking they don't have the numbers they had. Maybe if they had that full army and did it, then maybe it's the point. But I don't think now.
Very intrigued.
What do you think? You think she has the upper
She
hand?
does not. She does not. It's, as I said, it's going to come down to Yara making the play. They're going to have to get control of the water, and it's really going to come down to Jaime getting into the castle, the Hound, and Arya.
Do you think Arya's gonna kill Cersei?
Arya's getting in there. I don't think
Tyrion used to be the dude who worked the sewers. He knows how to get
that's
in.
Castle Rock.
It was a Castle
Yeah.
Rock. Okay, you're
But-
right. You're right.
But they you see when he went to meet Cersei, well, he went to meet Jaime.
He
They
knows
still got into the castle.
ways, I guess.
They did.
They have ways. He has ways. But I
See
mean,
what happens.
I don't know. So overall,
And Bronn got out.
and Bronn got out.
Well, no, Bronn was Brandon.
Well, you know, you're right. He
Yeah.
They
Cersei
sent
like
them.
sent him.
They sent them.
So I don't know. 1 out of 10 episode. What did you think?
Ooh, okay. See, now my opinion.
So are we rating it, or are we gonna finish talking about the hottest part of the episode?
We should.
What? Go ahead. Let's
What you
talk.
think?
What do you want to say about it?
Sexy as Missandei.
Oh boy. I don't even think that was like the hottest part of the episode. I just thought it was coming. As soon as you saw how it was caught, that's old school Game of Thrones. You're caught, you're done.
It is. It is.
Old
I missed
school-
it. I miss it.
I
This
just love the way it
whole
was
episode
done.
was very old school Game of Thrones. The dragon dying, Missandei dying. It was even a lot of the dialogue felt, except for some of the Force stuff. Even some of the Force stuff. I'm not even gonna front. Felt very old school Game of Thrones, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was pretty cool.
I love any chance that I get to see Zombie Mountain do anything.
Cut him clean off, no
My
hesitation.
Yak the head
favorite
off.
kill for him still is when he was just walking around the city and seeing that one guy and push his head into the wall.
Oh no, he didn't just push his head in for no reason. He was talking shit.
No,
About
he was talking shit, but it's like, come on.
Wait, what did he do?
So, okay, they just had this random scene where this guy was talking shit about Cersei. Just,
when she was
I
doing the walk through the city.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
and
yeah,
he's
I
just-
remember. I remember he was like,
He went to go
I
take-
remember the queen.
Yeah.
She was trying to get my titties.
Yeah, right. And he went to go take a piss behind a random wall, and he turned around. This motherfucker was just standing there. First of all, that big motherfucker, how you didn't hear him just trollop?
Everyone has iron movements.
He's at least 400 pounds.
They have
okay?
shadow stepping this shit.
Yo, he turned around
simple.
and looked at this motherfucker, and he looked at him like, yo.
How's it gonna be?
Yo,
I heard you talking that hot shit.
I heard you was talking that super shit. And just doof.
And you
And
know
pushed
what?
his head against the wall.
Now that I think
Made
about
that shit
it,
explode.
I thought it was pretty.
Yes, it
I thought it
did.
was pretty interesting how he brung up the baby and everything with Cersei at the end. Because honestly, I think Missandei could have got out of that. If anything,
Nah.
that would have it was sealed. Her fate was sealed. But Cersei only reacts to emotion with fury.
Yeah.
That bitch is furiosa. Okay,
Yeah. And I mean, everything
Cersei
equals-
is furiosa.
But I mean, Qyburn said it as soon as he walked out. He's like, "If y'all don't surrender, Missandei is dead."
Yeah, he said that.
I thought
Swift and
I was gonna
immediate
get
death.
one of these. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought I was gonna get one of these awesome Peter Dinklage monologues, like this Game of Thrones, Tyrion speech. I was like, oh, it's gonna be the last one, the last like crazy Tyrion speech. We didn't. It was just an average.
I thought it was okay.
It was okay, but I thought this was gonna be like. Remember when he was on trial? Both times he was on trial and
Got locked up twice.
I mean, he said some pretty crazy, had some pretty crazy monologues and dialogue and shit like that. I thought this was gonna be the last one. Like, oh, you're gonna cut some crazy like dialogue right now, and it was okay.
I don't think there was anything he could have said to save her.
But-
No, I don't think it was gonna save
Do you-
anybody.
but
I
do
just
you
thought it was
think-
gonna be something. He was
Do
gonna
you
say
think there was
something cool.
anything they could have said
No.
to save her?
Nah,
No,
Cersei's
absolutely
fucking
not.
nuts. We know that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he brought up the baby and that she's basically pregnant already, I think Euron's gonna. If he doesn't say or do something about it, I'll
Because
feel
they
some type
did
of
show
way about
his
it.
face. It was
What,
like,
what do you mean?
Because how could Tyrion know she was pregnant unless...
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I brung it up. I thought that was very poignant because she told him it was yours, and then she also told Jamie it was his. And I'm pretty sure it's fucking Jamie's.
it is Jamie's.
Well, especially if Tyrion knows about it already.
Yeah,
so.
it is. It absolutely is Jamie's, but she's just trying to play Euron into it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think she would like use him until the end of the war and try to
Now
kill him
he's
right
like,
afterwards.
Oh, niggas are playing me. Oh my god, let me put this to me. 10 plus 1 gives oh no. Oh no.
I fuck this bitch.
Yo,
I fuck this bitch.
Y'all making me angry. This is not adding up right now.
It ain't right. No, this ain't right. This ain't right at all.
I would need receipts because y'all are wilding. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy scene. That whole chunk was so tense.
Yeah.
That was.
It was
so
good. It was
tense.
good.
It was a good ending for the episode, making you want to see the next.
It was tense to the fact to the point where it's like, yo, we almost all know what's gonna happen, but the bits in between.
Like when I
I thought he was gonna just kick her off.
Nah,
when they captured
as soon
her
as
and
she said the
shit.
mountain to do it, you know, a head's gonna roll.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do anything but kill.
I mean, kicking her off would have killed her too.
Ways.
She would have broke her fucking neck.
Nah, but it's more satisfying to yak a bitch.
Well, to each their own.
Well, I mean, she still fell off. You know, by the time
I'm not Grey Worm turned his head, man. All men must die. You must have known that shit.
Valor Morgul.
Vela Magulis? You fucking get it. You fucking get it. You know it. And first off, they signed their death warrant as soon as they showed they liked each other. And when they panned over and saw them holding fucking hands, I thought they were both fucking done for. I'm sorry. This show has a lot of that shit.
Both still both.
I just felt they should have showed them fishing her out of the water. I mean, they didn't get anybody else out of the damn water. But
Well, they pulled that one guy out.
Which one guy?
The guy that they pulled out.
Rando number 5?
Rando number 6. He was like, they pulled him out with both arms. I thought it was like Tyrion. Because honestly, I thought Tyrion was dead. Because then they posted with the fucking thing falling around his face.
They showed them pulling out their own people, not them getting anybody else. And she's in a boat, so she has the edge.
That's what I'm saying. I think that they caught her at sea on the boat.
Which I understand, but still, like, she should have a better chance of getting away than everybody else. To me,
I don't know about that. She's in a dinghy. They got fucking warships. I think they could fucking catch up to her.
Jump the fuck out.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. But I mean, I thought that scene was really good. I thought that the scenes with the Euron, he's a creepy ass character.
I like his character though.
I like his character, but he's a fucking creep.
Yeah,
Tyrion?
No, Euron. He's a creep. So it's like,
well, they're trying to make him like this despicable bad guy. It's just one of those.
He's the hand wringing bad guy in this whole thing.
Yeah, the mustache
Cersei's he's the mustache twirling bad guy. Cersei's more like the conniver, but he's supposed to be the face of evil. He's putting pennies on the wall.
Yeah, he's that guy.
First off, if you ever see anybody put pennies on the wall, fucking run. But that's the old story we have. We're not getting into that. Call the police. But I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else we missed that you want to say? Because I was thinking maybe we wrap this up with a little summation. Anything else you felt with the overall tone of the episode? How did you like it?
It felt very old school Game of Thrones. This is the first episode that I've watched that I felt like belonged in an earlier season of Game of Thrones because it was so old school Game of Thrones. I enjoyed that.
What about you? What about you?
I agree. Like it was pretty good. The deaths were good. They weren't like so often. Oh, this person should be dead, but they're not. Like you should be dead. You're dead.
Like episode 3.
Episode 3. You should be dead. You're dead.
Well, we found out that Sam and Gilly had sex once.
Sometime, somewhere.
Sometime when he got bored of reading the book, so he finally figured out.
Had sex with a girl, which, I mean, honestly, so many people now are getting downgraded to me. I almost don't care what Sam.
I would like to think that little Sam is dead because they haven't showed him.
They didn't show him! Honestly, when John pulled back, I thought he was like going to say, yo, where's Sam Jr.?
Wait. Let's talk about Ghost for a second. Ghost came out like
Ghost, yeah. I didn't thought he was dead.
I ain't dead, baby. I ain't dead.
You thought Leroy Van Eyes is dead. No. But nah, I'm the opposite of that. no, man, Leroy Van Eyes is alive.
Even though John left him like, oh, I got a dragon now. I don't know about
Yo, he said take him to the north with fucking Tormund. And I mean, it almost didn't even feel like they even should have done that because he was barely there to begin with.
A lot of this is like, this show is ending. Give this character a happy ending. Get this motherfucker out of here.
This way you don't have to put in a wolf in another episode.
Because we know you motherfuckers are gonna ask when
the less CG.
When the final credits roll up.
Where's Wolf? He just disappeared in this battle.
People were already asking that last episode, so it's just like, okay, this is the wolf. Okay.
Yeah. Big shout out to Shadow Fox. He was talking about that for like 20 minutes the other day. And
it's like, what was I about to say? Yeah, like when he was leaving, he just looks at Wolf and like looks at Ghost and then looks away mad quick. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. Like he saved your life so many times. Like,
and then even in the books and stuff, they're combined. Like he would walk into the wolf. Like they had a strong connection. And this they kind again. Like Heavenly Wing says, they're going on. This is the end of the season, the end of the show, so they're gonna try to kind of steamroll their way forward. They're not gonna keep looking back anymore. before. I guess that's what all the internet stuff, all the cartoon snippets and the animatrix style like movie shows for that. That's what that's for, I guess. We're not going to get the answers here. I don't feel we're going to get any brand answers.
That's the
unless they're saving it for those spin-offs that they've.
Every time I even see Brand's face now, I'm just getting angry. It's just making me angry now. Like I've said a bunch of stuff about him.
Pretty useless now.
Yeah, the Night King's gone. It's like you're going with him.
They're a match set. They're a match set. We can't have one without the other. And if you do,
I don't even want one without the other at this point. He doesn't have. He can't see in the future. He can only see the fucking past.
He's stayed in the past mostly.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Go back to your tree, dog. Like, that's nice. Because you're not even helping us now. Like,
but even the Three-Eyed Raven was more interesting than Bran.
Absolutely. So, oh my goodness, he was so much more interesting than Bran.
He was. He was.
So, every time I see him, now I just get angry. I want him to be totally... literally, I'd have a little bit more... fun with the show if he just like got in his wheelchair and was like, and I'm rolling myself to that big ass tree, just to let you know you will never see me again. If you need
no
me,
questions.
If you need me, I'm gonna be in the tree eating whatever crawls into my mouth.
You can ask me, but I might be the most.
I'll see you later. You won't see me again. You might see me later, but no, you're never gonna.
Right? And then be like, okay, and that's the ending for Bran. I don't understand why he's in Winterfell, why he's chilling.
Cause he can't walk.
And then like they had this whole scene where like him and Tyrion were talking. He was like, "Oh yeah, you know, I seen this chair in the past." And then it cuts off, and I felt like spiking my whole phone. I was like, "Ooh, this is a segue to some old hot shit." Man, I almost lost my shit.
Then the Maester walks behind him and pulls
and pushes him off like,
Maester.
Yeah, man, the Maester should have just leaned into the camera and nope. No. And put his like whole finger on Bran's mouth.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
You don't get that. That's done. And it just made me so upset. And you know, again, it's still Game of Thrones. It's still a good show or whatever. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that the quality has obviously dropped.
Yeah, definitely rushing the ending.
They're rushing it, and you know, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people on the internet who want lots more explanation.
What do you guys think out there? You know, leave comments below. What are the kind of questions you would want to ask, or what kind of questions you felt were unasked? And I mean, because I know I have a bunch of them too. I guess I'll start with the wrap up. Me personally, I gave this episode a 7. I thought that it was cool. I like certain scenes that it made me jump up in joy and fucking dance around the room for a little bit. I have good dancing skills when I find something enjoyable or like that exciting, and get the little hips and the things moving. I do the little elbow dance, and I definitely did that in this episode. And whenever I can watch a show that I've actually been invested in to actually do a little elbow dance and jump around for a second and laugh about something, it definitely brings it up for me. But like for me, the whole thing was with Sansa, and Daenerys really brought it down for me. I thought the show, I mean, even it's funny because even the deaths didn't bring it down for me. It was just like their attitudes, and I fucking didn't like it. It's almost like you deal with somebody and they just have a bad attitude, so it brings you down. That's like every scene with fucking Sansa felt prickly to me. And it's just like, ugh. Just calm down, bitch! We just won! Right. We just won against the army of the fucking undead! Calm your fucking ass down! For one episode, bitch! For one! Even when it was going on, you was throwing shade on this bitch. Calm the fuck down. And then she fucking snitched? Like, you can't even trust her no more, B.
No, you can't.
Jon can't trust her no more, period.
But, I mean...
and Daenerys even warned her about that shit. Which, I mean, shows that Daenerys actually has some insight. Because she was like, yo, bro, she's not like the same person, you know. She's not going to keep that secret. Mm-hmm. When Ramsay's fucking licking the back of your neck.
Or having his dogs do it. Yours?
You tend not to keep a secret if you don't like someone and you think you can dick them over.
I mean, in these scenarios, I mean, it's not, at this point, it's about sticking together. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're kind of just writing certain shit to be a certain way. Because I don't, like, if John is like, yo, keep shit a secret, I don't see her being like, well, I'm telling everybody, though. I just don't see that happening with the Stark family.
Yeah, their honor is important. That's why I was like, when she did it, when she actually did it, I was like, yo, this bitch is a snake.
One thing I kind of had a problem with, too, is...
If Sansa found out, I mean, if Aya knew she did that, I think she'd have beef with Sansa.
But no, one thing I have a problem with is Arya. Where she's like, trying to convince John to stay or whatever, and then she just gets up and dips.
Yeah, I don't get what that whole scene was
Her
about.
arc is over now. Yeah. She doesn't need to have any more screen time. I do want to see her fight scenes in the next episode.
Well, I mean, still, like, is she really after Cersei? Like, it doesn't...
Absolutely. She's on her list.
But, I mean, there's been so much going on. I didn't really... She's really keeping an eye on the prize that heavy?
I guess.
Like, that heavy.
I think
all this shit and everything, and she's like, all right, no, now it's time to kill.
But look, let's look at it like
this.
This is my point. What else is there for Arya to do? They've never given Arya anything else to do in the entire fucking show.
She can't kill Joffrey, but she can kill Cersei, which is the next best thing. For her pops getting his head cut off.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, she's got to be in the battle. They're gonna put her in the battle. So.
Yeah, and then I guess she's gonna. I think she might even die trying to do it.
Me personally, I would have ended it on some. Yeah, she gets with Gendry. They go off to Storm's End. Leave that shit a fucking alone. You know, maybe
you don't have to show them ever again. But you know, the internet's definitely gonna start bitching about that.
Yeah. So, Donnie, your grade and overall thoughts on the episode?
I would agree with you on the 7. Like, there were some really good parts, as he said. It felt like old school Game of Thrones with the deaths, with the interactions. But they just left some shit just way too open in the dress shit. Like, the whole interaction with Jon and them and saying and telling them who he is.
I thought, was
completely cut away. Like, the fuck is that?
I thought it was funny, too, how he's like, it's your chance to tell him. And he's like, you tell him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait, what?
I'm telling you, this kind of shit is angry.
You tell him?
Downright frustrating.
You tell him?
It's like, everybody shut the fuck up. Bran, the reason why I want you to do it is because you're the three-eyed raven. So you're not understanding why, because I have my own mouth, yes, but just shit is more legit coming from you.
Or do you think that they actually did do the pull back in time and show them? No, you're right. I don't think they did too, because if they would have done that, then I think Sansa would actually have kept her word, because she would saw the genuineness of the situation.
And it's like he's sitting there like,
because I don't think she's a monster. I think she's petty.
Yeah. Who did she tell? She didn't tell anybody.
Who?
Sansa.
Sansa told Tyrion.
No, she didn't.
Sansa told Tyrion.
When he said that Jon told him that he's not a Stark.
Yeah, and then when he's walking away, she went, "What if there's someone better?"
Yeah.
And then that immediately cut to the scene of Tyrion talking to Varys about the whole situation. Yeah. And by then, he told Varys.
Daenerys could have told them.
Nah. Is that what you think happened, Tyler?
No, because Daenerys isn't going to tell nobody.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But nobody.
Sansa told Tyrion. You don't think so, Ty?
I could say it would lead to that, but that's another thing.
But who else would have known?
There's only a handful of people that know.
That's the point. Tyrion found out. He didn't know before, and when he said, "What if there's someone better?" Then as soon as that scene was over, they panned to him talking about the situation with Varys. He found out and told Varys, because Varys didn't know.
But did we see her telling him?
Well, we've already established how
exactly that's where
he was going with, and we always talk about this. Me and Radaya about like DC movies, how they always say how they don't explain everything, the details aren't in there, so how are you supposed to know?
I'm seeing a lot of this online, and see, this is the thing about shitty writing. You gotta put up with all these motherfuckers online who are now doing the writers' jobs for them and speculating, and obviously this happened and that happened. It's like, well, the gap is too wide for you to say what definitely could have or could not have happened. It's just shitty writing.
I'm pretty sure I'm sure that happened.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, but
when you saw that scene, you didn't think she told?
To be honest, when they don't show things, I don't really like to jump on one thing or the other because then they can go any route, and it's their job to kind of convey a complete story and not leave things out like that.
I thought she told him. That's why I said from the start that she is lost as a character to me. And we didn't mean to cut you off, but say...
Anyway, I liked how the dragon got killed. I like how Missandei got killed. I'm sad that Missandei got killed because she's sexy as hell. But I like the way she got killed. I like Cersei.
Dracarys.
Yeah, I like that fact that that's basically telling her burn the city.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dead.
Is that what she thought?
That's what I felt like.
Said,
get everybody out of here.
Wow, I guess she could have said anything in Ovalyria, and she did say Dracarys.
I like Cersei's whole swagger this whole episode.
She definitely had swag in this episode.
Sticking to Cersei even with her head up the entire time.
I mean, Podrick definitely, I think, won the episode, but, I mean...
Podrick Payne... Sir Podrick of Pain.
Sir Podrick of motherfucking Pain. I'm saying motherfucker every time. He's earned it through every fucking note he's fucking sung.
I gotta find out his relations to Sir Ilyn Payne.
No, they're related.
I know they're related. So I gotta find out what their relation is.
So what were you rating?
Yeah, what's your rating overall, feeling about the episode?
I might have to give it a 7 as well. I think I would give it a 7. Definitely.
3, all 3 of us. Huh?
7. My favorite part, well, I'm gonna say, there's certain shit that I don't like. We've spoken about that. It does feel very old school Game of Thrones. So that's cool. My favorite part was really the villainy aspect of Daenerys becoming a villain, right?
So you feel she's gonna make the turn?
It's like, how do you not be a villain in that predicament? It's like a funnel. It's like she's going through a villain funnel right now, and Cersei is kind of playing her into that. It's like, listen, you're gonna just become me. And then there's Cersei, who's the current villain, and she's a good villain. She's a really good villain. And so you have these two people who I'm considering at this point pre-villain and established villain, and I really like that dynamic because I like villains, right? And we have that are two very different type of villains. The one who's like, listen, I want what I want, and fuck everything else. And then you have the villain who has a real purpose. Like, all I want is this, and it's unfortunately that I have to achieve it in this kind of specific way. But if nobody's leaving me any choices, that's how I'm gonna go about doing it. And it's very cool to see that for me. Jon Snow is really out of it. He's on the sidelines and shit like that. So you really just get them two.
I thought it was pretty poignant that even that they he went with the other side of the army. He wasn't even there for any of that.
No.
So I think it's pretty interesting that they seem to do that a couple of times, even in the Battle of Winterfell. He was pinned in by a dragon. Shit was going on around him. It's like they always want to say shit can happen out of Jon, but it seems like shit kind of goes awry if Jon's not around to at least say something or do something.
So you have these two jerks, right? And you get that cool scene, tense scene at the end where the established villain is like, I'm gonna just keep doing villain shit. Look, got this shit right here. Give me what I want. I'm just cutting her head off. I'm just letting you know that right now. All that other shit is stupid to me. And
I'm just letting you know.
It is what it is. And then you got your up and coming villain, now you can cut off her head, right? And that's cool in the gang for you for a couple of hours until I come up there and cut off your head. And it's yeah, but you gotta have to be a villain to do that and kill everybody in here. And it's and that's cool with me. Right? And I'm oh man,
I'm about to do it.
Everybody's an asshole. Because if Jon was in Daenerys' place, he would have found another way. Because he's a hero. He would have been okay, look, boom, we gotta do some espionage shit. We're gonna get your baby's mom back, right? Okay, we're gonna sneak off, right? We're gonna get in the Tyrion. How are we gonna get in the Jon would have found a heroic way to handle this shit. See what I'm saying?
I don't know. Even if Jon walked up there, I think she still would have got her head cut off.
Well,
no, Jon would have found some way to rescue her, basically.
He would have probably found a way. If she got captured and shit, he would have probably been all right, we might gotta pretend like we give it. I don't know. He wouldn't have just been like, so what up? You gonna just cut her head off, or gotta be standing here all day? Like he wouldn't have did it that way. You feel me? Like even if you would have got her head cut off, again, that wouldn't have been John's attitude. John would have been like, yo, look, man, we gotta do some other shit. Like, you know, we gotta make another kind of contingency plan to try to get this chick back, or something, right? But we got these two villains, and so that's how they're doing it. So like she does it or whatever, and then she walks off like, and now we're here. She got the whole scowl on her face, just the whole evil.
The Anakin
is on. Now the shit is on.
Anakin, not you too.
Not you too, baby. Not you
make me kill these babies.
Yo, and that right. And then he's like, yo, I don't want to hear these babies getting burned up. And she's like, yo, listen, I burn babies, okay? I burn fucking babies. And it's like, okay, now babies are getting, now this is happening.
Now watch the glowing.
Now this is happening. So I enjoyed that dynamic with these two villains on different points of their, you know, paths or whatever. She's at the end of her reign of villainy, and this one's starting hers. And it's epic to really see. I do want to see how that plays out, because again, I love my villains. But again, honestly, I don't really care about the show so much like that. It's a good show still, but I could probably binge these last two.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have even watched these last three.
I mean, this has been like extremely fun, guys. I love having to sit down and talk to you guys about stuff that we just find interesting or fun to talk about. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Shanghai 20 at youtube.com and leave a comment in the comment section about how you felt about the episode. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of mixed feelings about this episode, particularly with the Arya stuff, particularly with the Sansa stuff, particularly with the Daenerys
Brienne stuff too.
The stuff with Brienne, I think it's kind of weird about Brienne because they softened her up very.
They did.
They very much so. Like that I thought it was a really tender moment where she was like literally like, yo, Jamie, like you don't have to fucking go. You're not your sister. But he's basically like, no, like I am kind of like her. I am a horrible person.
I've done a lot of fucked up
and
shit.
I mean, it goes back to like this whole like redemption arc thing. Like, can you be redeemed? Do you feel that you should be redeemed? And like, as soon as you heard about like the castle, what happened at the castle, he's like, I gotta be there because, like I said, he feels connected to her even to death wise. Like that's like you don't have to go there and die.
Brienne should be up there too.
Yeah, but
why is she not there?
Because Sansa's there.
Oh,
and she's pledged her whole life to take care of Sansa.
Yes.
And it would be stupid for Sansa to be.
And Sansa don't need to be there.
Right.
So, I mean, she's not there, and he requested...
You know why it's confusing? Because she didn't need to be on top of that fucking castle with the White Walkers running around neither, but it's just they're doing shit, and it's very confusing.
Well, she's a good fighter, and you know... No, not Sansa. I was talking about Brienne. She's a good fighter, so she's going to be there.
No, I'm saying...
Oh, you mean...
Okay.
I
was confused because, you know, like he said, no, realistically, Sansa doesn't need to be anywhere.
That's why they told her to go.
Right, but like at the same time, the last episode, she's on top of the castle instead of being in the crypt, and it's like she don't need to. And that's why.
Well, because she tries to have this bravado, like, because she is like basically John's regent, and she's trying to be like this tough person to show, oh, I'm not afraid, I'm on this wall like everyone else. But she actually wasn't. That's why after a while, like, I was like, fucking go down there, bro. It's starting to get real in the field, and you ain't ready for that field. So like it was like that. But yeah, no, I thought this episode was really interesting. I am interested to see what they're doing next. I think that Daenerys is at a big disadvantage, losing her dragon like that. So it's one dragon, half the Unsullied, and
some Dothraki.
Some Dothraki. I mean, what I was kind of weird that the fucking Tormund left with the wildlings, and it's like, wait, you just gonna leave, bro?
Fuck that.
Like, how you gonna leave?
Because ain't nobody coming over there.
Nobody's
coming over.
They only went to help John.
Yeah.
All this other weak shit happening.
They don't give two fucks about Daenerys. They just went to help John.
Other shit.
Yeah, but you don't think that's a problem? Them leaving?
Nobody's going past that wall because there's nothing there.
They're going back to the north.
Yeah, but I mean, like they kind of pledged to help.
John.
They did.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
and
out of
John
the-
pledged her fucking his forces to her.
Also,
Yeah,
you gotta
but-
remember, they're free folk.
Mm.
They're not staying there to be under no fucking Daenerys and shit. Especially Daenerys. Especially some lady. They're like, listen, we're out of here.
Mm. Yeah.
It was a good episode.
But it was a good episode. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment below. And until next Sunday, I guess I'll talk to you later.